It's Nolan.
Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show.
Yeah. Had to break away, I'm back home. I know the people miss a nigga, feel that shit in my bones, but fuck it. Life is a finite experience. Fine dining, refusing to take this time too serious. I was hustling delirious, niggas acting nefarious. Sweet them out, clean them out the inner circle. My journals is leaking out. I tell my truth on records. Do it myself, it ain't no co-defendants. Killing all these niggas, no mask, cause bitch, I'm photogenic. These my Chaucerisms, sharp as a prism. My bars like a prison, honor and wisdom, all that I'm drenched in. Phone calls talking about business, I'm optimistic. Even though I gave my ass to kiss, I don't fuck with the system. I'm my own man, run a program without the clock, confident. Anything your faves dropping, I could top. Now they label me a hater like I'm supposed to be heard. I wear my heart up on my sleeve like it's sewn in my shirt. You swear you're hot, but your flow is just burnt. They say my head getting big, I just told her it's girth, focused on work. If I thought about that criticism, I'd be on a different mission. I'm trying to find the definition of my premonitions. A crash course like collision, dog, I went the distance. My hood full of chicken spots, niggas keep the biscuits. They spilling tea up on a nigga, let it be hibiscus. That bullshit, I stay above it like a flying nimbus. Orion's image, I'm shining with higher limits. Competition coming my way, you know I am winning like the slang in London. I am in it, wrist cryogenic, that's frozen. Chosen by hoes that want my chiro in them. Role model, I'm rolling with models, y'all was printing. Load hollows for these fuck niggas y'all been sending. I pray to God I never had to hit that throttle with them. I want my cash multiplying, this is not addition.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well this Saturday evening. Now, in this particular video, we're going to be talking about Joe Budden and the Joe Budden podcast, getting into these different Drake reference tracks that have been leaking over the last couple of weeks. Of course, the first one was 5 a.m. in Toronto. You know, that was questionable. We had to look into that. We ended up finding out about Chapo. The next one that came to follow was Draft Day, which was directly a video of Chapo playing himself rapping to the Drake Draft Day record. We dug into that. We went into his history and all of that stuff. Ended up getting referenced on a bunch of different videos, all of those different things. And now Joe Budden and his cast have a quick video addressing it. They don't believe that these timestamp records or these more so-called lyrical records from Drake are real in terms of the reference and in terms of the leaks. Joe Budden basically tries to say he doesn't know who is leaking this stuff or who's making these so-called reference tracks. But upon further review, it does seem Joe might actually know Chapo. Now, I don't know how well he knows Chapo, or when the last time he may have seen Chapo, or even if the last time that they ran across each other, he was even going by the name of Chapo. Remember, I've told y'all that this gentleman has gone by the name Fame. He's gone by the name, I believe, Juice also. He's also gone by the name Live Moolah. So maybe some things have gotten lost in translation. Maybe they haven't ran into each other in quite some time. But there is evidence that suggests, at bare minimum, these two have crossed paths a few times in their dealings in the industry. Now, of course, Joe Budden has been retired from hip hop or retired from rapping since what, 2015, 2016, something like that. So it's been nearly 10 years since he's been in the booth and made music or engaged on that level in hip hop, you know, with the rappers, other than the people in his crew like Slaughterhouse and, you know, the occasional guest on the show. So maybe his motors need a little fine tuning. But again, upon further review, it seems at bare minimum, if somebody were to clean his clock a little bit, and I don't mean clean his clock as in knock him out, but just like give him a rundown, he would know exactly who we're talking about. Let's go ahead and pull up this clip of Joe Budden and his team addressing the situation, though, because they're trying to hold on to the memory of, the ghost of Drake past. And I'm not necessarily mad at them. You know, they're fans. They love those records. They have emotional attachment to those records. They've lived to those records. And I can understand anybody that feels the same way. I don't think that, I'm not saying everybody should have to just disown music that they like, right? But this is where we are. So let me go ahead and pull up this clip, by the way.
Yo, we're not going to talk about this 5 a.m. in Toronto ref that's allegedly running around because we dricked out.
I just don't believe it. That's why. With AI today, I got a homie who hit me up ahead of time and said, yo, I'm about to troll these niggas. I said, what you about to do? He said, you know how there was always rumors of 50 writing the game's entire documentary album? I'm like, yeah. I'm going to use AI to make reference tracks for the entire documentary album. And he did it. And if you would listen to it and not know any better, you'd be like, oh, shit. It just confirmed the rumor.
There was never rumors of 50 Cent ghostwriting the entire documentary album. 50 Cent wrote the hooks for 5 records on the documentary album. 5 of those beats were originally intended to go on 50 Cent's album, The Massacre. And instead, he gave them to Game because at the time, Game was not a good hook writer. And he needed production, and Dre needed some help to get him off the bench. Therefore, he gave him records that he had in the tuck for his sophomore album, muted his vocals on the verses, and gave them to Game. So anybody hearing additional verses and additional work from 50 regarding the Game and documentary, they're not doing their hip-hop history, so they're being easily fooled by bullshit. But I'll let Ice continue.
That's why today, I don't believe none of this shit no more.
Okay.
So the
Yeah, but
dude
need a little
made
more.
all reference tracks using 50's voice.
Yeah. You want to hear him?
No.
You know I got him. But yeah, he made all reference tracks of the documentary using 50's voice, the entire album, top to bottom.
The trickery, this trickery.
That's just where we are. Yo.
Okay, well, on the internet, for the people that are unaware, there are references from allegedly Drake timestamp records.
5 a.m. in Toronto.
5 a.m. in Toronto, which is the best one, in my opinion. No, I'm not rolling.
My man said it to me last night, and I will say this. I don't know if it's fake or real, but in regards to all the Drake ghostwriting songs, I will say that he made them a lot more swaggier than most ghostwriting situations have worked out. All the other big ghostwriting people that we know about, the Dre's, the Puffs, whoever, the reference track was better.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Drake's versions be way better than the reference tracks.
Way better.
So I got it. Even if it is fake, if it is real, I don't really care. But any of the reference tracks that we've heard from Drake shit, he added a lot of swag to them. I have to give him that.
If it's real, I'm going to care. I don't believe it's real.
Agreed.
I don't believe
Agreed.
it's real at all.
Yeah.
Not with the timestamp shit.
No.
Even though I do feel like he ain't rapped like that and probably won't be rapping like that anytime soon.
And let me just go ahead and throw this in there in the pot since we're talking about AI. The reference track that we heard is not AI. It's not a version of Drake rapping and somebody did some post-production edit to make the voice sound like somebody else. The entire delivery is different. Remember, this is the 5 a.m. in Toronto leak that came out. Like the verse was a little disjointed. Some parts weren't completely filled in. It sounded like, kind of a freestyle at the mic type of thing, like putting down some ideas that ended up getting fully fleshed. There was points falling off beat, stuff like that. So not AI. At most, if you want to discredit it, you would say that this person went and got the beat off YouTube and re-rapped it. But to say it's AI, not a chance.
I still need more than that ref to believe that's...
I need more than a little
The
Twitter.
guy on that ref sound like somebody doing a spoof or bad version of hearing Drake rap.
No, that
like
guy exists.
I'm
I mean,
not
it's
saying
sent
he
me
don't.
other records from dude. I just don't know if this is real.
I don't believe.
Shout out to Parks, at least acknowledging that the nigga on the song is real. It ain't no fake shit of somebody who ain't really out here. You know what I'm saying? And remember, we talking about Chapo here, but Shout out to Parks at least being respectful to the artist.
That guy has this ref from however many years ago and sent it to Drake, and Drake patterned after that. I don't believe that.
I just don't believe for that to happen, especially with everything that has been going on with Drake, from ghostwriting rumors from years ago. This would have made its way out before now.
I mean, there's been rumblings on it, but I just don't believe this one.
I ain't rolling.
Me neither.
I'm indifferent. I gotta get more evidence. It could be true, but I would have to hear more.
And
a snippet on
wouldn't it be
Twitter.
some more fire from that dude?
He's got other.
My nigga, if you can write that,
He's got other records because my man sent me.
smokers.
No, but you could hear the rhyme style. It's like, oh shit. I mean, there is some believability in there.
Gotcha.
But I got to hear more than a Twitter leaked reference.
Gotcha.
I need to see a video of him writing and recording a reference track with somebody who died maybe a year or so after that happened in the video, and both of them saying the date. Like, I need the evidence got to be, you can't even dispute it.
I'm gonna still listen to the record regardless too.
Exactly.
Me too, but last time I said this is when the Quentin Miller 5-pack randomly popped up
Out of nowhere.
of him doing all of your favorite Drake songs from that album.
But I need more, Paul.
And let's be clear, when those Quentin Miller references came out, if you listen to him do it and then you listen to Drake do it, you know, even I was of the crowd that said, shit, like Parks, it does sound better coming out of Drake's studio, coming out his mouth, than when I hear the versions that Quentin Miller laid down in terms of the vocal inflection, in terms of the delivery, in terms of the actual performance of the song in the studio, right? So to somebody who is connected to the record, it's easy to say, I'm not worried about that, right? But then the truth came, and it's like Quentin Miller really did do this. Quentin Miller really did get jumped by Meek Mill by not wanting to come out and confirm that he did this, right? Well, jumped by Meek Mill crew. I ain't gonna say Meek did it. Niggas connected to Meek. I mean, it's out there. Quentin Miller's talked about it. You know, he kind of got ousted and outcasted by the industry. It wasn't till, you know, other artists like Kanye and others that reached out. It was like, nah, homie, we need the sauce over here too, to where he started actually getting back in the studio and being able to either ghostwrite or co-write or be a part of other people's movements. But Drake really had no reason to disown him because Quentin Miller was not the one that leaked it. Quentin Miller wasn't even the one that was trying to throw Drake under the bus. He was trying to maintain their business relationship as much as possible by not saying shit, and he still got discarded. So all of these different thought processes, still, you can say what you want, but what's real is what's real, and what's not is what's not. I can't confirm or deny anything, but we'll continue.
I'm not rolling with that. Not in the slightest.
All right. We're rolling. I'm rolling. I'm with you. I need more too.
Yeah.
To say that a timestamp is not a timestamp. I do need.
Nope.
I do. You ain't going. Hey, I may not have been all the way OVO'd out last year, but whoever this new nigga is, you can't get me against him. Whoever the fuck he is, but I ain't do that on my own.
Sir.
Who the fuck are you, nigga? Hell no.
No Joe Budden.
So that was the JBP giving their assessment of the 5 a.m. in Toronto reference leak or whatever. Joe says, I don't know who the fuck this is that's rapping. I don't know nothing. Whoever this guy is, da-da-da-da-da. But again, we have evidence of actual connection to Chapo and Joe Budden back in the days, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pull up this clip of Chapo speaking on his connection to Joe Budden. And then we're going to pull up a clip of Chapo and Joe Budden, or Fame as he may have known him, in the same room on tour. And then we're going to pull up an old song of Joe Budden and the artist formerly known as Fame on the same record, right? So do with this information in this video what you will, man. But the rabbit hole just continues to get deeper.
This shit seem to be a reoccurring thing. I say something, y'all niggas try to argue with me, and then it gets proven later. So Joe just released on his podcast that, yup, I can confirm from rappers that I know and respect that Dot is loaded up. Who you think he talking about, bro? Me and Joe have been on tour together. We've had the same manager. Shout out Billy J. And I used to go by the name Fame. If you type in Fame featuring Joe Budden, there's a record called Once in a While, along with footage of us on tour together. Number 2, I'm a motherfucking pyro. This shit deeper than just some music shit over here, y'all. Like that's number 2. So I'm always gonna be ahead of the curve when it comes to the homie. That's just what it is. And why you think all these outlets now went from, yo, it's over because Drake dropped Taylor Made, to all of a sudden, yup, Kendrick is loaded. I'm hearing he's loaded up because the record is making his rounds and people are forming some strong opinions about it. Y'all gonna hate me. Some of y'all gonna hate me. Some of y'all gonna lie. They did this shit on my head too, because I'll still pack y'all niggas out and run the fade with whoever. That's just who I am. But y'all get to know a nigga. All you gotta do is do your research on me, homie. I ain't no motherfucking mystery, bro. It ain't that hard.
So that's a video from a year ago. This is, y'all remember when Joe Budden was saying that he was receiving word that Kendrick and Drake were both in the studio loading up and that they had nuclear missiles in the tuck and it was about to go crazy? So that's from around that time. And he shouted out Joe Budden and he basically said that they've had connection throughout the years in the industry. Again, I don't know when the last time they talked. I don't know if he spoke to Joe Budden during that time period when they was when Kendrick was getting Euphoria ready, because that's what ended up being the nuke was Euphoria, right? But if they were in contact last year, it seems that in 2025, Joe is not being very forthright about whatever that connection is for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Because he's acting completely oblivious and he don't know who the hell that is on that song. You know what I'm saying? But here we go.
I'm so lit right now. Now you see it, huh? Bitch, shut up. I told my shit right now. I ain't really trying to conversate. I'm way too lit right now. Don't want to hear about your resume. Motherfucker, that's dentist. Now you old news. Yesterday, I'm astonishing. Put commas in. Learn game from my uncle, them. Told me every single thing I...
Y'all saw that, right? Let me go. This is Fame. This is Chapo like 10 years ago. He looks different now. He got a beard. He got, he done grew his hair out and shit like that. Because remember, when he first came into the industry, he was being ushered in through an R&B label, so his image was totally different. But Joe Budden, you know what I mean? Back when he used to wear them big ass, look at that big ass V-neck. This is 3X t-shirt Joe Budden. This is, you know what I mean? Back when the 3X tank top was in full effect, sweating in the studio, yelling at Rory. Or what is this? Probably before the podcast even. This is what album was out around this time? Probably No Love Lost. Was that the name of it? But yeah, that's Chapo and Joe Budden. The man he don't know. The man he don't know shit about. Who the fuck is this on this reference track? Now again, I tried to give him some benefit of the doubt that maybe they haven't seen each other, talked to each other, worked together in a while. Chapo's implying that they may have spoken last year and that he was giving out information on what was to come. I can't confirm that. I don't know anybody's behind the scenes conversations. All I can give y'all is access to public information. Okay? Speaking of public information, let's get to this feature that these two did, because it wasn't just them on this tour. They also collaborated on a song.
Yeah. It's like emotions get the flowing when that liquor get the pouring, you dig?
Rapping and singing.
Every once in a while though.
But if we never ever spoke again, maybe that'll be alright.
Rehabilitation on the track. I had to tell that shorty bye-bye. We ain't seeing eye to eye. Ironic how the magic disappeared like voila. Went from being big as cheerleader on the sideline to wishing that your ass never occupied my time. That peer pressure affecting you. Friends talking down on a nigga. You ain't speak up, swear that shit just unacceptable. Got you all on Instagram letting out I'm personal. But shit, I broke your heart, so gone do whatever works for you. And you did what worked for you and got some new nigga. But I know your girl, he ain't your type and you could do better. I probably got some questions that I really need to ask him, like, do he know he ran only cause he a rebound? I always been the type to make the best what I was given, but even now I couldn't make a dove out of a pigeon. Even though the shit's cool, something I'ma get through. I get paid to start feeling how to hook do real nigga shit. Fly high.
Once in a while I do. It seems like every once in a while. I get the missing when not spoke again, maybe that'll be alright. Maybe that'll be alright.
Looking back, I was a tad immature. With our backs to the wall, still nothing was insurmountable. Then 1 and 2 made 3 was like a shot from that 4. Dropped jaw and you ain't hold yourself accountable. Thought I was the guy that you adored the best. Switched up when you ignored my every call, I was vexed. Then prayer came in handy, called the Lord every second. Now you tell me you was actually gone before you left. Whoa. Was I too much? You couldn't keep up. Did I intimidate you? You couldn't speak up. Was it Bria's ass? Nicky's D cups? Only hurt so much now cause I ain't cheat much. They say when you love something, let it go. And I bet you wish you'd have stuck it through. Cause me loving shorty's uncomfortable for you. No one fucked you like me, but no one fucked me like you.
Once in a while I do. It seems like every once in a while.
Fame, aka Chapo, featuring Joe Budden. Over 10 years ago, we also have footage of them on stage, or backstage, on a college tour together. Now, do with that what you want. Okay? I'm gonna just go ahead and come out and say it, man. Whether or not you believe this nigga, if you don't, that's your prerogative. That's your choice. I'm not trying to convince you. All I'm doing is giving you access to public information. But I'm going to tell you this. This nigga got to be the king of motherfucking coincidences. That's all I'm going to say. Right? To have done a project with Boy Wonder on the beats that never came out, and he said it turned into something else. And next thing you know, we have reference tracks with his voice on it, right? We have reference tracks that come out with his voice on it. Joe Budden hears it. He says, I don't know this nigga. I don't know who the fuck he is, and who the fuck are you to come out here and put this out there. Then we find out at some point or another, Joe Budden actually did know who the fuck this person is. He claims that him and Joe actually shared managers at one point, somebody by the name of Billy J. I guess I gotta look into who the hell Billy J is now. Yeah, bro, I'm real life good at this shit. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. So this, I just said Joe Budden no love lost era, right? I could just tell from the music, the sound, and the fucking V-neck Joe Budden had on in that goddamn clip. So I look at the No Love Lost album credits, released February 5th, 2013. You go to the credits on the album, and you look at A&R for Mood Music Inc., which was Joe Budden's company at the time. Billy J, which is the same guy that Chapo just shouted out a few minutes ago. Interesting enough, you got Imani on there, you got Maul and Parks as A&Rs on there also. But then you even go down to the management section, and who do we see? Billy J once again. And I think that might be Corey, who plays the background on the Joe Budden podcast. We never see him, but sometimes we hear him and we see them make reference to him quite a bit on the show, if you listen. So we have 2 credits of Mr. Billy J on this album as A&R and as manager. Chapo, formerly known as Fame, says that they shared managers, went on a college tour together, and we saw them backstage together on a college tour. So again, this nigga must be the king of fucking coincidences, man. He must be at the right place at the right time at all times to be able to say he was there for some shit. Now, interesting enough, when you Google Billy J's name, he has a record label called 1801. I actually covered his label approximately 6 months ago, about a year to 6 months ago. If y'all can remember when Coyle Ray came out and said that she was in a fucked up contract and that her management company or something like that, Billy J, was trying to steal her money and she needed to get out of her deals and all of this different type of stuff. She ended up getting out of her deal. She ended up signing with another label shortly thereafter, a few months later. This is the same Billy J. So clearly, I mean, everybody seems to have gotten away from him for the most part. So maybe he wasn't the best at business. Maybe he wasn't the best manager that you could possibly find. But for whatever reason, they have this man all in common. Okay? Now, what I cannot say is that Chapo definitively wrote anything, and he's not coming out saying that he definitively wrote anything. But again, there's a lot of moving parts that all seem to be in tandem, moving in the same direction, in the right direction. So it's just very interesting. Not to mention, if we want to take it a step further, which we could, but this would be a conspiracy hat. If you look at the production credits on Joe Budden's No Love Lost album, which is the album in question, you'll also see that he had records from Boy Wonder. You'll see that he had records from Vinyls, another one of Drake's producers, on this album. He had production from T-, another one of Drake's producers, on this album. So let's just say if Joe Budden and the artist formerly known as Fame, Chapo, are managed by the same person, you're able to get beats from Boy Wonder, Vinyls, T- for Joe. Who's to say that you might not say, hey, what if we can get some beats for my younger artist too? You know what I'm saying? So we could try to break him and get him in the industry. I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm just saying that's typically how a management situation works, where if one of your clients is getting some traction and some movement and some motion and some access to somebody, you're going to try to see, well, could you look out for my other client as well? Now, again, Chapo is in a bit of a compromising position because, you know, he just released a song called NDA. He's been alluding to the NDAs and things that he may have signed over the years in the industry that he can't necessarily come out and talk about. He understands that his contributions to a lot of the music that he's worked on is owned by the labels, signed over. He's talked about this in the past about, you know, the under the table cash transactions that he accepted for his work, therefore not being able to, you know, necessarily claim the work that he contributed to. But I'll just call this person Mike, who reached out and kind of gave me the heads up about Joe Budden. He says, Joe Budden acted like he had no idea who Live from the East is, but this quote unquote Fame dude looks and sounds a whole lot like Chapo, interesting. And that's what led into the tour footage that we saw and that collaboration that we just played a few minutes ago. So, you know, the people is watching, the people seeing what's going on. And I don't know. I think folks on Chapo's side are wondering why Joe Budden isn't necessarily speaking to knowing him. Maybe he's trying to cover for Drake. That's what some people would imply or you know, jump to the conclusion of. I'm just covering the information. I'm giving y'all what's out there because I don't know what to make of all this shit, man. This is just a shit storm coming down. And at the end of the day, all the roads are pointing to Drake has had a lot more help than what we're privy to. You know what I'm saying? But I am not privileged to have all of the information, dates, timestamps, or anything that I can put my stamp on. Now, some people may say I'm trying to go out my way to make him look bad or to try to end his career or to do whatever it is. What the fuck, man? The information is out here. All I'm doing is covering it. These are conversations that are happening in real time. These are conversations that were happening prior to me even talking about it. These are conversations that had somebody never said, yo, this reference track sounds like Chapo, I would have never put my fucking investigative hat on to say, well, damn, who is Chapo? What has he done? And then we actually find out this nigga been around all these different years. He's been here. He's been here. He's been here. He's been here. He's been in this studio. He's been in this studio. He was signed to this person. He worked with fucking Harvey Mason Jr., the head of the goddamn Recording Academy Grammys. So at bare minimum, do I think he might have met Drake along the fucking way? Yeah, I'm sure he probably did if this motherfucker ended up, his former label head turned out to be the goddamn leader of the Grammys. Yeah, I'm gonna give a little sleight of hand on that shit, man. What the fuck you want me to do? You mad because I discovered the conversation at a time, and I won't even say discovered it, but spoke on this conversation at a time where people are now throwing it out there and just wondering what the fuck going on? Don't be mad at me. I didn't leak the shit. The fucking, the leaked tracks had 1 million views on them by the time I even heard them. I just investigated further. Once I saw 5 niggas say, yo, that sound like Chapo. Damn, is that Chapo? Man, that's Chapo. I said, well, who the fuck is Chapo? And here we are. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at yourself for feeling away. Because that's all that you can control. But the rabbit hole has been dug just a little bit deeper. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit on my almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mile. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.